Alrighty guys, what is up? I have another video here for you, doing none other than another tier ranking. And this one was sort of inevitable to come. This is just a huge tier ranking of every single VeggieTales character that you can possibly think of. So every single main character, every single side character, every single background character, anyone in any story basically, apparently. Someone put this list together in a tier ranking format. I don't know who did this, but they went out of their way to find every single character that you've ever seen in any VeggieTales property. So I find that pretty impressive by itself already. But yeah, so the way how I have this set up though, because this obviously could take a while with all the characters we have, so I want to give a quick debrief of what my categories are. So top, for the first one here is certified icons, so that's pretty basic, just like who stands out to me the best way possible, who made a very long-lasting impression on me, and it's just the top best. It's not much to it. Genuinely good characters, so this is just basically a slightly lower ranking down from the certified icons, so really good, but not like peak quality for me. Still really good though, and very serviceable to the story, and you know, stuff like that. Serviceable characters down here, they're still fine, they're still good. It's more of they're sort of like a pawn basically to get to the point of the story. So not that I have any bad feelings for them, but they're also not really stand out in a good way to me. They're just sort of there to move the story forward, right? So serviceable characters would be just a bunch of plot moving characters that have no character of themselves other than just to move the plot forward of what the story they're in, if that makes sense. As we go through the list, it'll probably make more sense once you guys see who I think deserves to be up there. And then down here on the fourth one, we have fine, but kind of forgettable. So sort of the flip side of serviceable characters, like they will still be serviceable, I guess, to an extent, but they didn't make any impression on me and it's forgettable. Whereas serviceable characters would be really long lasting in my head. And fine, but kind of forgettable is not. Not good is not good, pretty basic. Really bad is really bad. And my favorite one down here personally, I don't know who you are. So that means basically any character that has made no long-lasting impression on me, or I've never seen the show that they were in, so therefore I have no way to rank if they were good or not. I don't know who they are. That's pretty basic. I don't know who they are. There might be a lot of there might be a lot of them on here, so get ready for that. Actually, I think I know most of these. Yeah, most of them. Anyway, let's get started. Let me know what your favorites are down below. First up, who do we have? Okay, so I guess this is no in particular order in any way, shape, or form, so it's just right off the bat. Here we go. We have Alexander, my bad. He looks like an Arthur archetype, but he's Alexander, which is probably like the most typical name you could give swashbuckling young hero man. The name Alexander or Arthur, it's one of the two. But anyway, he's from the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything movie, and he's good. I like him. He's a bit one note in some senses, so I would probably just throw him up right away to serviceable characters. He's fine, but not bad. It's just, you know, he's there because he has to be there for the plot. Sort of a MacGuffin character as well, like when the pirates have to go save him, along with the princess later on as well. So it's fine for who he is, just not much of an impression on me, long lasting, but he's fine for who he is. Alright, I'm forgetting her name right now. You guys can tell me down below if you feel the need to, but she was voiced by Phil Vischer's daughter. That's all I know. I forget. Annie? Is that her name? Or Anna? Annie? It's one of the two. I think it might be Annie. I'm not sure. But also serviceable. I think out of like the trio, like Junior, Laura, and Annie, if that's her name. I'd probably put her like the last, because again, just plays the archetypal friend of the main character, right? Not much of a personality herself. Also, she hasn't been in much shows overall. She's been in a couple, but not a lot, so there's not much to judge her on. So I would just probably put her in fine, but kind of forgettable. You could probably replace this with any other stock friend of the main protagonist. So, but you know, has a sweet, cute little voice, because it's voiced by a nice little young girl. So, you know, that's something. This is the gourd from what's the silly song? Larry's High Silk Hat, who squashes the chocolate. It's a great comedic gag. He has no speaking lines at all, I think. So he's just there just to sit and be big. You gotta love the joke of Gord's gym too. The riff on Gold's gym. I love that. It's so funny. Yeah, like again, no hard feelings at all to this guy. It's just, I'll probably put him back in serviceable because he is very, very memorable, actually. But you know, actually, I'd probably put him in front of Arthur, honestly, just for that one gag. He's really funny. Yeah. This is a great list so far. What do you guys think? It's funny because we haven't even gotten to our the main characters. It's just random side characters. It is what it is when it comes to these tier rankings, I guess. But here we go. Archibald Asparagus. You guys know where he has to go. You guys know he has to go up, up, up. Yeah. So far, he's a certified icon. Archibald is really good. Ark Bugatti. That's his name. Ark Bugatti, yeah, or Art Bugatti. One of the two. I know the names. Just sometimes the syllables can slip my head if it's an Ark Bugatti or Art Bugatti. I think it's Ark Bugatti. Anyway, I would say throw him back into the serviceable characters only because. Not because of his actual presence in the show, but because he's on the plate that Junior broke in Larry Boyd and the Fit from Outer Space, and that's always stuck with me as an image when the plate shattered. So I would say serviceable. Nothing else other than nothing else other than serviceable. That's a hard word to say fast. Serviceable. I'd probably put him last, I think. Just because there's actually no speaking lines from him either. I think he's also mainly starring in the Larry High Silk Hat silly song. So you know, it's the same idea as the Gourds, but the Gourds gym and the Gourd himself make a long-lasting impression on me compared to Ark Bugatti personally. Moving down, we have the backup singers from Larry Boyd and the Fit from Outer Space, but I guess they also could be qualified as the backup singers for Nezer when he sings the Bunny song as well. They're basically the same characters, I think. They're good, they're serviceable. Again, there's lots of serviceable characters in here. They are fine. They're really good. They have really cool harmonies in that really good song of the classic Larry Boyd theme. So, but they're really not characters. They're just literally stand-ins for a music video, so there's no character. I would probably put him up here just because I really love that Larry Boyd theme, and that's mainly it. That's the only connection I really have with them so far. Again, not bad, it's just they're all serviceable. Next up, I don't know who you are, and actually, you know what? That looks like an image from VeggieTales in the House, so therefore you going in real bad. Or, that's a piece of bacon. The animation looks like it's from Veggies in the House, though, so I'm just throwing it in real bad no matter what. If it looks like it's from Veggies in the House, you guys can guarantee I'm putting it in the not good or really bad category. Bad Apple. Okay, this is actually a really good character. Really good, actually. I think probably Ironically enough, even though I love Larry Boy and Fib, I'd probably put Apple as the best villain, because rather than just playing a source of what's the word? Rather than just playing a source of power or representing just one side of a deadly sin like lying or spreading rumors, right? Bad Apple actually has a really good personality as well, like a really good classic, Sunday or Saturday morning cartoon villain, with the representation of temptation still. So I think just for that reason, it's a really good villain. Even though I love Fib, I'm very nostalgic for Fib. I think Bad Apple is actually just the better villain overall. Really gives a really good villain for Larry Boy to conquer. So yeah, I like Bad Apple a lot. It's a really good foe. Oh, we got the lemon. I forget his actual name in the universe, but Lime Lemon or something like that. He's the background character who sings the blues with Larry in Duke and the Great Pie War. Oh, he's really fun. He's also voiced by Tim Hodge, I think, and they just throw these guys anywhere for voice acting whenever they need a stand-in character. But he plays actually like a full-on ongoing character in that silly song. I'll probably have to put him in serviceable again, but higher up, I'd probably have to put him at the top of serviceable. At the top right here, next to the gourd and so on from there. Like, they're fun characters, but they're there because they have to be there. And Lime the lemon, I forget the name. But the lemon is probably the top of there because the way he smashes the cookie with a guitar is peak comedy to me personally. And he just destroys Larry's feelings. Anyway, I don't know who this little gumbo dude is, so let me put, I don't know who you are. You guys can fill me in who that is. Bob the Tomato, obviously, he is the top so far. He is a certified icon. How can't you love Bob the Tomato? Next up, I don't know who you are. Moving on, Buzzsaw Louie. Genuinely good? He's probably inserviceable. He plays his part. Like, he's probably the most main character, centered character there is out of all these 5 so far. So I think he probably has to go in the top just because he has a main leading role in one of the top shows in the discography. So no, I like Buzzsaw Louie, but he's, I don't know, sort of static as well. I've always liked the animation on him though too. Even when I was a kid, I just liked the way his the toy aspect of him looked, with all just the joints and all the material he's made out of. It looks very shiny, and it just appealed to my young kid brain. Sort of reminiscent of a Toy Story character actually, because back in the late 90s, the animation really benefited to making toy-like characters or inanimate objects like the VeggieTales characters, obviously. But I like the way how Buzzsaw Louie came out looking. Looks good. Moving on, we have that celebrity that I forget the name of who voiced that character in the show I really hate. Put him in. The show is really bad, but I don't know who you are is actually the proper answer for this character because I don't know who she is. Well, no, I do know. Okay, I'll just put him not good. I just don't care. I don't care for this character at all. I'll just put him in not good. There's nothing offensive or bad about it, like really bad. It's just, I don't care for it a single bit, and I'll never watch that show again, so. Okay, next up we have the Eagle. I think this is from Lord of the Beans, when the Fellowship tries to jump on to get rescued, and he just ditches them. It's a funny gag, and it's a funny throwaway joke, especially with a riff on the actual story, but obviously just a surface-level character. Well, is he fine, but kind of forgettable? Honestly, I don't even remember this joke until I saw this frame just now, because I remember the Eagle as soon as I saw the frame here, but when I think of Lord of the Beans, I don't think of this character at all. So, yeah, I think I'll have to put him behind here. That makes more sense to me, actually, now that I think about it. Okay, moving on. We have Stand-in Evil Pirate, #1 from the Pirates movie. He's fine. He just plays a pirate henchman in a kids movie, so we'll throw him right here. Yeah, we'll throw him. No, Arthur made longer impression. Actually, he's probably behind Ark-Bugatti as well. Okay, he just got bumped to the very end. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, we got the worm, Wormy, or I think his name is Wormy, or Curly. That's what his name is, Curly, right? Also voiced by Tim Hodge as well. Tim Hodge is a really good voice actor. I like his character a lot. He plays a really good sidekick to the Bad Apple. I would actually put him in probably the top serviceable characters. I wouldn't say genuinely good because, you know, he's pretty static as well as far as his character goes, because he's only in one show and he plays only one purpose, to be the sidekick of the bad guy. Yeah, I think I enjoyed him more than Buzzsaw Louie, honestly, so I'll put him at the top so far. I think this also has something to say about how much I actually like the shows themselves from where the characters are from. Obviously, like, people like, or characters like Bob or Archibald, they come in so many shows, so it's obviously hard to tell from that. But I think even just from this list alone, as it's getting bigger, you can tell which ones I kind of favor a lot compared to some other ones. Pidgeys in the house. We have Dad Asparagus, I think. Yeah, that's Dad Asparagus. He actually only has one certified name in the series, and it's just Dad, or Dad Asparagus, I guess. So that's what we keep calling him. He's actually really good. He plays a really good father figure, and also just one of the few parents that are actually in VeggieTales, because there's not a whole lot of parental figures besides Junior's parents, I believe. I'd honestly put him in front of Bad Apple, because Dad Asparagus comes in a lot of shows, and he plays that classic, that dad you want to look up to, you know? Like, even when you're a kid, like, he tells some good theology, and he just tells you what to do in the right time, and he, like, especially in the Minnesota Cuke episode, when he's there for Junior, when Junior's getting bullied, that's actually a really sweet moment. And also, obviously, the classic episodes as well with, you know, the Where's God When I'm Scared, and so on. We have Dr. Flurry. This one is from, I think he's only made one appearance in the League of Incredible Vegetables, which is just basically the Avengers parody movie with just a few creative differences in lots of areas, but that's the whole idea with the whole Avengers spoof. But the actual villain from the show, Dr. Flurry, he's fine. There's really no memorable moments with me that I associate with him. There's not much I can honestly remember besides the freeze gun he had, which I guess he's maybe like a riff on Mr. Freeze from, you know, the Batman universe from DC, but I don't know, that's all there is really to it, with just the freeze gun, and there's no memorable lines or like interesting quirks or things that stand out to him, or to me at least. So definitely the weakest, I think, out of all the Larry Boy villains we've had in the past. So I think just for the reason of that, I think he has to go to serviceable characters. Like, he's not bad, like, he does the story fine, but really much more of a weaker character I've seen, mainly when it just comes to the Larry Boy villains overall. So let's put him in the serviceable characters, but where does he go though? Probably behind Ark Bugatti. He's pretty weak for me. Yeah, I think that's how it has to be. Okay, moving on. I don't know who this guy is. Some asparagus with dreadlocks. I actually can't remember who this one is from. So I'll just put him in this category. Maybe, or no, wait. There we go. It looks like it's maybe from the Celery Night Fever show, but I don't know. You guys can tell me in the comments down below if you know who he is, but he's a whatever person to me. We have the Princess Eloise. I think that, yeah, Eloise, that's her name, from the Pirates movie. Very classic maiden who's, you know, trapped by the evil foe and the heroes have to go and save. So she plays the archetypal damsel in distress. And I think Eloise plays that part very well. It is pretty one note, kind of like how Alexander is pretty one note. There's not much to them depth-wise. I think Eloise has some more character just because of her confidence she has in the pirates and her faith in them to do the right thing. So that's kind of cool to see how it plays out in the story. But other than that, though, there's not much to her. But again, she's serviceable, though. I think she's better character than Alexander overall. I think that's just because we see more screen time with her, and so we actually get to know her more over the course of the movie. But I think, yeah, throw them back into the serviceable characters because that's kind of all it is. That's all it is to me. Let's throw them right in front of. I'll put him behind Buzzsaw Louie. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I like these. Like I said, these are ones that don't make much of a long-lasting impression on me. Are still good, but I don't always go to. But they're good for what the story has them to do. If that makes sense. Whereas the fine but kind of forgettable is just, yeah, they're there. They need to be there, I guess, but make no impression on me whatsoever. So, moving on. I think this is Appley, the OG Appley. I forget what his official title was, but it's Appley. From Larry Boy and the Bad Apple. So there's not much to this one for me. Like it's just showing the origin when Alfred is in the break room or the library, and I don't know why I said break room. the library when he's looking at the tapes to find out who this mysterious foe is, and I guess it's kind of the same thing with Bad Apple. Like again, like I like what they represent. Bad Apple has more of an actual story going on because she is the main antagonist, even though she is the descendant of Appley. As you guys can tell, I know my lore. I know my veggie lore. I don't know. I think I'll probably put him at the top of serviceable characters. There's not a whole lot of them in the show to begin with, so it's kind of hard to judge them on a proper criteria. Excuse me, but I guess that's how it is. Like, still very good, probably the top of the serviceable characters because the role and how it all connects to the main story is really good. But it's just it's a stand-in to keep the plot moving forward, I think. Yeah, makes sense to me. Esther, okay, yeah. Only made one appearance in the classic hit Esther, but I think we gotta move him up to genuinely good. The way how the team at Big Idea really depicted this character into sort of a classic Disney princess, just right down to the design of the character, is really, really good. I think I'll probably put him in the top, honestly. Like, they really nail the story and the character arc that Esther has to go through. And they make it appeal to young girls and also just families overall, so they can really identify with her. I just honestly, overall, I actually just find the development of the character, the visual design of Esther really interesting because Esther was known to be one of the hardest characters to animate because of her hair, and also how just the whole concept of like how do you make a vegetable look pretty in this context, in a world full of vegetables who tend to be looking more funny looking or just an archetype of someone else, right? Esther, you actually have to sell this character to mainly the demographic is young girls, someone who they can look up to. Like you can look up to a Cinderella or a Belle or an Ariel, like the same way. And strangely, they pull it off with just the design alone, which is really impressive because it's a vegetable. So that's the most funniest thing to me. Which again, I like just the meta part about it, of her character, of just how much work the team had to put into the design of Esther herself. Which already just my respect goes up much more just for the character alone. But also what she actually has to do in the story is really cool too. Just very faithful to the actual scripture of the Book of Esther, and it's really cool to see that play out in a really fun format in the Veggie universe. So yeah, I think that's why I put her up that high. But yeah, moving on. Fib. Yeah, I would probably I would put him in genuinely good characters as well. He's not a certified icon, even though I love Larry Boy and the Fib from Outer Space. There you go. There we go. That's it. Really good character. Really good, serviceable villain for what the story has to play out and how to move the plot forward. But at the same time, he also has so much personality, and I love this New Jersey talking villain who's just really fun dynamic he has with Junior, and it's really fun to see. And seeing him get bigger is always more scary, but also kind of cool, and also kind of funny too, because he has a really funny design, but also really intimidating because he's big and he has a deep voice, and obviously just that whole show overall is just very extreme, much more extreme than most other Veggie shows. So yeah, Fib is definitely a genuinely good character. More than serviceable though. I'll say that much. Moving on, Frankencelery, classic oldie but a goodie. I'd probably put him in the top of serviceable characters as well, because he's also not in much shows as well. But I have lots of nostalgia for him too. I think also kind of goes why he's also going to go really far up for me. He's going to go up probably the top, honestly. He's definitely before Apley, I think. Yeah, I like Frankencelery. There's not much to him, but he's just he's a fun little gag. He's a fun little just a throwaway joke that riff on Frankenstein, and it's just all really over the top, but it's funny, and it's also really nostalgic too for the first show, and obviously hearing him sing along with the classic hit God is Bigger Than the Boogeyman. So yeah, I hopefully you guys will agree with me on that one. I love Frankencelery just for the fact that he's always been there. Even though there's not much of him, he's a classic guy. He's a classic character I like a lot. Okay, this is I forget his name, the trend conductor from the What If Express from It's a Meaningful Life. I actually like this character quite a bit too. This is a really cool character. His whole moment with Larry at the end of the story is really cool. He's sort of just the guide that brings him through this whole what if scenario if Larry was, or Stuart, in this case of the story, was never around. And he plays that part very nicely, and I think he'll go... I'd actually probably throw in genuinely good characters. I think he's actually really nice. I really like this character. I think It's a Meaningful Life is actually really underrated overall as a Veggie show. So I'd put him right behind Apple. Yeah, that sounds good to me. I like this guy. Not much people actually recognize who he is or really have much association with the show overall, because it's much more past fans and their time when they grew up with it. So that's why it's very unrecognizable to most people. But I like him though. He's a good character. I like the part he plays, and he also has a fun personality too. Goliath, the giant pickle himself. Let's go... I don't know. Is he a genuinely good character, or is he just the top of serviceable characters? Because he's 100% at the top of serviceable... I can't say that word fast. Serviceable characters. He's definitely at the top. But, or is he a genuinely good character? I'm not sure. I think we gotta throw him in serviceable. Yeah. He's definitely the top. I love this guy. He's such a classic antagonist in the Veggie show, in a very classic episode of the Veggie history. I feel kind of guilty putting him in at the serviceable characters, but he's not bad though. He's really good. He's at the top for sure. But I don't see anything that makes him genuinely good, because he's just a static villain at the end of the day, and he's only in one show as well, basically. There might be a few other times he pops up every now and then, like in the later show, but like this is the main thing he's really known for. I know that the voice is used in many other characters with Phil Vischer, who voices him, but yeah. I think I gotta keep it there. I don't think that the nostalgia can take over and put him into the genuinely good categories. So, he has to stay here. Really good though. Gordon! Oh man, I like Gordon. He's really fun. He plays the bully archetype really well. I'm gonna throw him in serviceable because he plays the part in a really fun way. Let's throw him up here behind Eloise. Yeah. Good with me. And this is I've seen this extra so many times in a Veggie show, but I don't know who it is. I think it's like Gordon's grandma or Gordon's mom. I'm not fully sure. Okay, we got Grandma from Easter Carol. That's the one. Easter Carol. I love Easter Carol, and this character Grandma, who plays basically the Marley brother stand-in from the Christmas Carol parody, is really good. I really like the part she has to play. She's only really in one scene, and she comes back just as like a vision. Not a ghost. You have to make sure we know that. It's not a ghost, it's a vision. But I think I put him in genuinely good as well. A really good character, really fun personality. Plays a very important part of the story to start Ebenezer's arc. So I'd throw him at the very back. And Tim Hodge just does such a funny job playing an older woman. It's a good time. It's fun to watch. And also the song is really fun too. The song is fun. Okay, cool. Grandpa George. Grandpa George is good. Grandpa George is a really genuinely good character. I think I gotta toss him... We gotta toss him right here. Yeah. I like Grandpa George a lot. He hasn't not come up in too many shows, but every time he comes though, it's really fun. He's a really fun character. He just narrates and that's it, but he also has some inclusion every now and then with what the story has to offer, so it's good. I like this character a lot. I don't know who this guy is. We're gonna move him over here. Okay, this is... I forget the character's name, but he's in the Saint Nick episode who plays the... Oh, Gustavo, that's who it is, Gustavo. This is a made-up character in the actual story of Saint Nick, I believe, from what I've heard from the commentary, but plays a really good foe, actually, who, like, plays it straight up evil, like as actual bad guy, a bad person, and he doesn't have a redemption at the end. He plays an actual villain all the way throughout, and I actually have lots of respect for that. And I think just because of that, he actually does some pretty, antagonistic things to our main character, who is Saint Nick in that episode. So I think, just for that reason, I think he actually has to go up really high in the serviceable characters. I think he plays his part really, really well. I think we gotta put him behind Frankensalary. I think that makes sense to me. Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. Okay, moving on. We got Hope from Easter Carol. Hope is a really good character. Hope's song is the main standout of her performance from Rebecca St. James, and it is just wonderful. She displays the gospel message so well. I think I'll put her behind Grandpa George. I really like Hope a lot. I like the personality and the contrast she has with Ebenezer, and it's a really good character. It's a really great show, obviously, overall, and that might play a part into why I highly favor this character so much, just because the show she's in is amazing, but the character is also really good too. We got Jerry Gord, and I believe it's Jerry Gord because being a fan this long of VeggieTales, I still am embarrassed to admit that I still forget these guys' names confused every now and then. So I'm pretty confident it is Jerry Gord, but correct me if I'm wrong, obviously, in the comments down below. Let's put him in the certified icons because he's just a great classic character. Like, who doesn't love Jerry? I think Jimmy's more the standout because he's more just the charismatic one. But Jerry is just a great pair. He's the Gords are just the best pair, the veggie pair. Actually, sorry, I take that back. It's Bob and Larry, but they're the second best pair just for their comedic duo and all they have to offer in the whole canon. The whole veggie universe is awesome with their inclusion, and Jerry's a part of that. And Jimmy obviously is part of that list too, so we got to put him up there. I think he's a bit better than Jerry. Jimmy's just a slightly bit more charismatic and just a bit more entertaining to watch. He's a bit much more flamboyant, which I like about him. All right, Junior Asparagus. Yeah, we gotta throw him up there too. He is really good. Some people really don't like Junior every now and then because he's a little annoying and singing can be annoying, which I can understand, but he's a great character though. He's the last in the certified icons, but Junior's awesome. Next up, Khalil. I really like Khalil as well. I think Khalil might be a certified icon as well. Khalil is awesome. Definitely the best comedic part of Jonah, and he's meant to be the comedic relief, and he's great. He's awesome. I think actually, you know what? We gotta put him a bit ahead of a Junior. I like him a bit more than Junior, honestly. Like I said, Tim Hodge, he voices so much veggie characters, but Khalil is his standout role to me. Just the traveling buddy he is with Archibald is awesome. Just the pair together with them is so good. They're really awesome together. And Khalil just overall is fantastic. Such a funny character, and also just a really charming character overall too. He's just a sweet guy. He's a sweet character. He's a small one, but he's a really sweet one. Moving on, this is the king, I think, from Snoodlerella, or the Snoodle's Tale Part 2. I don't love this show overall that much, and also I really don't like the subplot with or just the first story with the Snoodles, the Part 2. And I don't remember much about him, so I just gotta put him in the not good category. I understand what he represents, but I think everything was shown better in the first Snoodle's Tale. With when the creator character was just not seen at all. And you could just hear his voice, and he was hinting at things, and you could see some objects that was being carried down through him, but not the actual physical representation of him. So, and also I don't know what it is, but also just the animation overall from that show looks really bad, really choppy. I covered all that in my VeggieTales ranking, tier ranking list, but I don't know. This character all doesn't make much of an impression to me, and he's also from a not good show overall, so that's why he's there. Larry Boy, oh, you guys know where he's going. Who would not put this amazing character at the top? Larry Boy is the top dog. He is everything I want to be and more. His movies are amazing, his shows are amazing, and it's very important to be different. How do you say the word? To differentiate. I think that's the word. It's very important to differentiate the two, because Larry and Larry Boy are very different. So this is not Larry, this is Larry Boy. Larry is still at the top here, but Larry Boy is the alter ego, and they're still the same person, obviously, but there's very different sides that come out to each character. Kind of like how you judge, say, Khalil and Lutfi. Very different. I mean, similar in some ways, but also different. You know, alter egos. But Larry Boy is amazing. He's always been my childhood hero, and he still is to this day. So that's why he's up there. And Larry, next up. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what to do. Whether to put him beside second of Larry Boy or to put him in front. I think you gotta put him in front, right? Because Larry is Larry, you know? But I don't know. It could depend on the day, honestly. For now, I think I'll keep it like this. Larry first, and then Larry Boy second, because they're still the same person. So, the same character, I mean, so. Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, this is the hardest thing I had to judge between Larry and Larry Boy. Okay. We got Laura. Laura the carrot. I would put this more back into the serviceable category. Nice and static, and not much of a character with her, but she plays the archetypal friend really well. So I think we'll put her beside Buzz, or behind Buzzsaw. Behind Louie, yeah. Laura's nice. There's nothing against that with the Laura character. It's just, there's not much to her. It's just, there's nothing to her. That's literally the only way I can say it. She's not bad. She's definitely memorable, but there's nothing to her that stands out in a very unique way. Lenny, Laura's brother, I think, who's only like really shown in Fib, I think. The Fib from Outer Space. I think that's the only time actually, that's not true. He's also in Toy That Saved Christmas, and maybe a few other ones too, but really much more of a side character. There's not much to Lenny. Really at all for me. I think he's like down here, probably next to Pirate Stand-in. I have nothing for this guy, sorry, but he's fine though. He's not bad. He's just, I only remember him because of Fit from Outer Space, and that's it. So, and that's why he's that high up there. He would probably be lower, honestly, if anything else. But because he's starring in Larry Boy and the Fit from Outer Space, that's the only reason why he's up there. Okay, moving on. We got one of the French Peas. Honestly, you could not tell me which one this is. This could either be Jean-Claude or Philippe, because they have the exact same character design. So I really could not tell you which one this is. If it's Jean-Claude, like, honestly, it makes no difference either way, even if it is Jean-Claude or Philippe, because they're all the same character. They're very different, but like there's not much of a there's not much of a difference between them besides higher pitched accents. So let's just. I mean, they're a great pair. Like the P's are awesome, but I would put them down here probably next to Grandpa George. Regardless if it's one or the other, I think that's what it is. And if it's just another P stand-in, then I feel kind of weird putting them all the way up here. But again, this P could be anyone because the P is just they have all the same they have all the same character design. So I honestly could not tell you if this is Jean-Claude or Philippe or someone just another P stand-in. So I don't know. But if it is, I'll put him here. And if I was wrong, then oh well. Oh, okay. We have this is, why am I forgetting this character's name? I completely forget. But this is the doctor from Flabbergaloo, but also plays the female asparagus next to Archibald. She was in much more or is this, it's not even Junior's mom, is it? Because she has a very different voice. I'm not sure, honestly. No, Junior's mom is down here, yeah. So this is the doctor for sure, or at least in that story. So I can't remember the name fully, but she was in lots of the early shows, like the first 5 or 6 of them. She was really prevalent, but after that, she kind of got replaced by a few other ones, or just as the show kept expanding its characters. Not much of her was seen after that, I don't think. Still made her appearances every now and then. Like in Jonah, she was like a side character, or like a background character at least, but I don't know. Yeah. That being said, let's throw him in the serviceable category because nice. She was nice for what she was in those stories that she played in, but probably more than Lenny, honestly, you know. Has a nice voice, has a nice falsetto with Archibald in the songs. That's all I can grade him off of. That's all I got. Okay. This is the characters who I have no names for because they're from that little sequence from The Wonderful World of Autotainment, I think, but also starred in Lessons from the Sock Drawer because that was just a bunch of reruns from all the previous shows from Lessons from the Sock Drawer. But anyway, regardless, though, that short is really good. Lunchtime, I think, is the short, and it's a really sweet one. It's really fun. The characters I have no association with. They're genuinely good characters. The short is great, but they're just like faceless cartoon characters. I don't know what to tell you. I'll put them in the serviceable. I'll put them. I don't know. How do you grade some of these characters, honestly? Like, grading these characters are so weird sometimes because sometimes they're actual genuine characters that have, like, long-lasting arcs throughout the show, or sometimes they're just throwaway stand-ins because they had to fill the space. So, I don't know. Let's throw them here, I guess. I don't know. The short is really good. No, that seems... I don't know. I genuinely don't know where to put these guys. I don't think they should go that far up here. The green dog and the blue guy. That's what we'll call them. The blue guy will go... let's put him behind... I don't know. Pascal Louis. Yeah, there we go. And the dog can go behind the blue guy. Okay. That's my opinions. There we go. Moving on. Okay, Lutfi. Oh yeah. Lutfi, even though we have a complicated relationship, Lutfi is genuinely good character. I like him a lot. He's still scary. I don't like him, but I love him. He's awful and he's amazing. And he scares me. And he thrills me. He thrills me with cheers. And also tears. So then, yeah, that's all I got. If you guys see my Sumo of the Opera review, then you'll know what I mean. If you haven't, go click on it and watch it because it's really good. But Lutfi, what a character, I'll tell you that. Okay, Ma Grape from the Grapes of Wrath, and I think that was the only time she made her appearance. I honestly don't love the Grapes of Wrath segment that much. So honestly, we gotta throw them in fine, but kind of forgettable. That seems about right to me. Madame Blueberry. I would... See, I know Madame Blueberry is part of, like... I guess she's part of the main cast, honestly, at this point. But I never loved Madame Blueberry that much, honestly. She was fine for who she was. And I guess in her main storyline of Madame Blueberry, the show, is good. The lesson is good. But I don't care for the character that much. I think she's still good for the story she's put in. Especially as, like being the mayor in the Larry Boy episodes are good. I would probably put at the top of the surfaceable characters though, so that seems about fair to me, I think. Yeah, that might be a bit controversial, I don't know, but Madame Blueberry never stood out to me that much. Okay, the dragon thing, metal monster thing from Pirates, who don't do anything. Good. Fun little arc for Larry / Elliot to go on and face his fears. But not a character, honestly. This is not a character. This is just a force of nature, and that's it. This is kind of the same thing with the backup dancers from the Fit from Outer Space. Like, there's no characters. They're cool from what they're from and what they kind of do in their role, but like, there's no character to them, so I don't know. I guess I'll put them here, right in front of the backup dancers. The design is actually really cool too. I should probably mention that. The design is awesome. Like the Ogopogo or dragon-like sea monster design. It's cool. I like it a lot. Patrick, or Maywin Socket from the sumo segment. The sumo segment. It's good. It's kind of hard to judge Patrick as a character because, like, obviously Patrick is a real person, or was a real person, so... But from the flannel... Oh, I don't want to put him in that not good category, sorry. From the flannel graph story, it's nice. It's very odd from where he's in. Like the whole story seems sort of out of place in the sumo story. But... No, I like what they have to offer, though, and the character of Maywin is fun. And there's some good jokes in there thrown in. The animation's fun, but that's kind of all there is to it. Very surfaceable. There's so many surfaceable characters, I'll tell you that much. There's only so many surfaceable characters I can put into it, I feel like. Okay, this is a guy I do not know. There you go. The potato. I like the potato. The potato was funny. He hasn't really come up in any shows, like more than like 2 in the early ones, and that was it. So I like his role though. He plays a fun comedic throwaway joke. I think the Gourd has a better throwaway joke though, so I'll throw him right here, behind Gourd's gym. This is the Beauty and the Beat pop star one. I forget. I don't like that show, and I don't remember the character at all, really. So there you go. You go there. The Mirror from the Sweet Pea Beauty. I think that's the story. Yeah. Honestly, The Mirror is okay. The Mirror is fine. I don't like the show really at all, but The Mirror is a fine villain. There's some antagonistic things that The Mirror does, and plays the villain, the secret surprise twist villain pretty well. At least to the characters. The audience kind of knows he becomes a villain pretty quickly, but he's fine. He's good. I don't know how to say. He's fine. He's good. He's okay. Here you go. I'll put you right. He's better than Dr. Flurry, honestly. He's a better villain than Dr. Flurry, I'll tell you that much. Dr. Flurry has no personality. At least The Mirror left an impression on me. Yeah, there you go. I think it's also a little scary too, because as soon as The Mirror grows limbs, it's always more scary. Anytime a character in the Veggie stories grows limbs, it becomes instantly more scary. Besides Khalil, I think Khalil is like the only thing I can like capture in my mind that's not scary because it's a caterpillar, and caterpillars are very naturally like they're natural to have arms and limbs, obviously, because that's the design of how caterpillars are. Or half caterpillar, half worm, I should say, for Khalil. I want to make sure I do his family origin respect. Yeah, even like the fib, for example. I went over this before in my reviews, but anytime like there's a character in the veggie story that have limbs, I kind of like my uncanny valley realism just like slips in, and I'm like, oh no, this looks really weird, like intentionally, obviously, but like it still scares me though, like, in a weird put off kind of way. So I think the same case goes for the mirror. So there you go. Okay, Miss Agnetha, I think that's the character's name. Obviously her breakout role in Esther, singing the puppy song, which is it's actually a really good song. Or sorry, it's a good joke. The song is insane, but the character is fun, and also plays lots of background characters after this show as well. So I'd put him in serviceable, probably next to Goliath. Yeah, that sounds right to me. Okay, next up we got Junior's mom. Junior's mom is a sweet character. I like it. I like her. I'm gonna put her next to Dad. Yeah. Obviously the pair have to be together, but I like Dad Asparagus a bit more because obviously he has more wisdom to share, or he gets more wisdom to share at least. The mom Asparagus doesn't really have much time to show in these shows. But, obviously, to have a full functioning family, you need both mom and dad, and the mom fills that role really nicely, so that's where she goes. Okay, this is a creepy, scary, awful image that I don't like. It looks like it's from Veggies in the House, so therefore, it looks like it's from Veggies in the House, so that's why it goes there. We have The Beat from Beauty and the Beat. I don't like these shows later on, at least this one particularly. So not good. Doesn't stand out to me. That's it. Yep. Mr. Lunt. Mr. Lunt obviously goes in Certified Icons because Mr. Lunt might be my top 3. I mean, Larry Boy and Larry are kind of synonymous together, so they go there. But if we're counting these two together as Larry and Larry Boy as one, I think Paul Grape is really awesome too, though. But I think Lunt is definitely top 3 for sure. Mr. Nezer. Mr. Nezer is really good. He's the classic VeggieTales villain that they used a lot, and he played that role amazingly. So therefore, he's gonna go, I think, right next to Archibald. Actually, I think I like Nezer more than Archibald. Actually, I realized. Yeah, Mr. Nezer is awesome. He's fantastic. I mean, I don't have to explain, like, I feel like I have to explain more from the bottom rows of why I'm putting him there, but, like, obviously you guys know why I'm putting these up top here. Like, I feel like it's a given. Come on. It's Mr. Nezer. Like, these are all the OG characters that are just fantastic. Khalil is one I feel like I had to make an actual argument for, because I like Khalil quite a bit, and I think he's a bit underrated in some categories of why people, of where people put him in their likeness for some characters, but Khalil really stands out to me. So that's the only one I really had to explain, but everyone else, it doesn't need an explanation. They're awesome here. Okay, we got, what's his name? I forget his name. Mr. Pincher. Pincher, that's his name. Mr. Pincher. Okay, I like Pincher a lot. He's actually a really sweet guy. He has a really great role in The Star of Christmas, and I gotta put him in that really good category. I'm gonna put him right. I'll put him behind the train conductor. Yeah, I like Pincher a lot. Really sweet character. And also pops up in lots of other shows after this, but the main role I really like him from is the Star of Christmas. Moving on, we got Saint Nicholas from the hit show Saint Nicholas, and he's good. He's a good character. He hasn't really shown up since then, but plays a really nice stand-in for the actual character, or the actual person of Saint Nick, in a really nice way. I'll put him right here behind Grandma. Yep. Saint Nick is actually a really good episode overall, honestly. I just realized, like, Gustavo's a good villain. Saint Nick is a good character. It's a good show overall. It's really good. Moving on. Oscar the Polish Caterer. I love Oscar. Oscar is amazing. We gotta put him up here. He's the best stand-in for any Veggie character ever. There we go. He's going right here. Yep. There you go. Right there. Paw Grape. Yep. Up. There you go. Right there. Awesome. I really wish that this is not the photo they picked for Paw Grape, because despite I love Paw Grape, I don't love the Grapes of Wrath segment too much. But this Paw Grape is awesome though. Moving down. Palmy the Palm Tree. He's fine. I know that he's very memorable in the Gilligan's Island spoof, but he's fine. There's not much to him for me. We'll put him right. He's just a singing tree. I don't know how else to put it. He's just a singing tree. Let's put him down. Here, yeah. There you go. You can go right there. Beside Lenny. Okay, forget. I don't know who you are. And I don't know why this tier list has some really weird picks. Like these are two characters right here, but this is also like the woman who plays the doctor in Flibberaloo up here. So I don't know. The backup singers from Lyle Kindly Viking. I'm a little confused too, because I thought that the female asparagus was the doctor character from Flibberaloo, but I guess there are two different people apparently. So I don't know. They have a nice harmony. This is characters like these are just so hard to grade, because like there's like barely any substance to them. So I don't know what to do. Let's just put them in serviceable. I like their harmonies. Let's go. In front of Arc Bugatti, I guess. I don't know. This is when the list just gets a little out of hand in one column, because there's so many strange options you can put in them, but oh well. Okay, next up we have Percy P. I like him. He's actually fine, but a little forgettable to me. He's probably the top of the list, like as far as those characters go, but I don't remember them much. I have much more nostalgia for the other the French Ps, like Jean-Claude and Philippe. So I don't know. That's just sort of my opinion. I like the earlier Ps from the earlier shows were fine. Like Percy was fine, and I forget the smaller one with the really high voice. I forget his name, but I prefer the French Ps. They're more entertaining to watch. Petunia. Petunia is a pretty good character. I would say probably put her up in genuinely good. More further in the back of the list though, because there's I don't know, like there's not a whole lot I take away from Petunia, but I think she's a really nice contrast with Larry's character in the Silver Age shows, at least, especially in Duke and the Great Pie War and Minnesota Cuke. All those shows are really good with her, having them as a good balance to Cuke's personality, or just Larry's personality overall. Yeah, I still put it in the back though, just because there's not a whole lot I take away from it, but I would not put it in the serviceable or certified icons. QWERTY. QWERTY is a certified icon. There's only so much you can do with a computer, but they make this little 90s model work so well, and I'd throw him actually ahead of Junior, to me personally. I think QWERTY has such a fun personality despite having no words or dialogue to say. He's just, or it is just amazing. It's great. Yeah, QWERTY's great. Okay, I guess this is updated QWERTY. I don't know. I throw them in the same spot. I much prefer QWERTY's older 90s design compared to the new like Apple look he gets later on, but I guess we'll throw them beside each other though, because they're basically the same character, despite I like the older design more. Partly because of nostalgia, but also just it also looks better. The older one, I mean. There we go. Cool. Reginald. Reginald's really fun. I would probably put him up in the genuinely good, because like QWERTY, he has literally so much personality despite having no words at all. Genuinely good. I would put him up with ahead of Grandma. I'd actually put him ahead of Mr. Pincher as well. More than the train conductor too. How high is he going? I'll put him right behind Bad Apple. There we go. Yeah, that sounds right to me. Next up, we got evil pirate guy. Oh, what's his name again? Robert. That's his name. Robert. I like him a lot. Not the most memorable character. I'd probably put him up at the top of the serviceable characters though. I would place a good foil and a good foe for the heroes, or just the pirates overall. I'm gonna put him at the top, right beside Madame Blueberry, I think. Robert is really good. He has lots of personality too. He's also the same character who actually voices the king, I believe, in the same show. So that's cool having that dynamic, that parallel with the same actor. But yeah, Robert is really fun. I like him. He's pretty much of a straight up static, consistent bad guy with like no redeeming or with no redemption arc, which I like. I like that he just plays just the force of nature that wants to take down the good, right? And you need that the opposition. You need that contrast, which makes it a really good story. Even for kids, it works really well. And I like his design too. His design is fun, kind of half mechanical and robot-like. It's cool. I like it. Even just down to his hat with the mechanics and the screws instead of the crossbone skulls. I think that's actually a cool replacement. And still gets the point across that he's evil. Anyway, yeah, moving on. The robot children who sing back up in the Autotainment episode. I'm sorry. I'll throw you back right here and find it kind of forgettable. You made no impression on me, I'm sorry. That's that. We have this weird dog thing from Veggies in the House. I'm gonna throw you in really bad, because anything from those shows are really not good. They're really, 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 really awful. I'd probably have to put her in the same category as Find It Kind of Forgettable. It kind of goes back to the Grapes of Wrath arc overall, that I don't really love it that much. Her and Ma Grape make no difference to me of which one goes first. I'll just throw them right there. But yeah, Rosie is fine, but only made one appearance, and it's not very memorable. Very memorable. The Weed. The Rumor Weed from the hit show Larry Boy and the Rumor Weed. I like this one. Not as good as Fib, but still really good. I'll throw him right. Yeah, I'll put him right beside Fib. Fib is still higher, but I like Rumor Weed a lot. Do I grade them higher than Apple and Dad Asparagus and Mom Asparagus? Oh, it might be actually a little bit lower. I think I like those earlier characters behind the Weed more, like Dad, Esther, and Mom Asparagus. I'll put the Rumor Weed, I mean, don't take that out of context. I'll put him right beside Reginald. Still really good. I like him a lot, but much more personality from the Fib, and also even the Bad Apple. I like the lesson that the Bad Apple represents more. The Rumor Weed kind of seems like a carbon copy of the Fib, but just toned down a tiny bit. Even the design is not as fun to me. I like what they're going with the Joan Rivers parody of like the Boston accent. Can we talk now kind of thing, with the woman voicing her. So it's fun. There's some really cool designs and characteristic choices that go into the character, but I don't know. I prefer just good old Fib and Temptation Apple, who make more of a lasting mark on me. Weed is still good though. I want to make sure I get that point across, but I think probably the weakest out of the three villains, though, if we're ranking them by the original three. I'm not counting Dr. Flurry. Dr. Flurry is way down here. He's a whatever character to me. But Weed is good. I still like Weed a lot, but still makes the number 3 spot. Okay, we have this character from Looks Like Veggies in the House, because the eyes are weird. So there you go. I actually don't even know who you are. I think you're going here. We get the Penniless Princess. This character, I believe, did not make much of an impression on me at all. Or I forgot if I actually even saw it, honestly, the whole show. So, might be on me, but if not, I don't know. Throw him in Fine But Kind of Forgettable. I honestly have no opinion on this character, so gets thrown right there. Sorry. Scooter. Scooter is, I'm not gonna say he's the top, but he's a really good character though. So let's throw him right beside Grandpa George. Scooter is such a fun character. I love obviously his accent is what makes this whole character come to life with the all Scottish background, but he came really early. He came in show 3 with the original cast of Veggies, and he's made a huge mark on the Veggie history. So he's like the best supporting background character. Like there's not a whole lot for him to do as a main character, but he's, I think, by far the best supporting character I've seen. Dad's Asparagus is also a really good supporting character, but I think Scooter makes more of a lasting impact on me just a tiny bit more, just because his humor is so good. And he's just overall just a good character. He's always meaning well. He's kind of like Larry in the sense where he kind of plays the same role, and he always means well, which I like. I think my favorite role with him is probably Mortimer, I think. Or sorry, not Mortimer. Moyer, that's what it is. Moyer from the Star of Christmas. I love his role when he's chasing Bob and Larry up the church tower, trying to catch the Star of Christmas, who he think they have stolen it, which technically at that point they think they have as well. But anyway, it's just such a fun show with him, and he plays such a great character, and I love him. But yeah, Scooter is up there. He's cracking the top 3 for genuinely good. Random kid from Veggies in the House. Sorry. The aliens that sing "Watchin', Watchin', Watchin'" for the backup harmony from "God Wants Me to Forgive Them" with the hit song "God is Bigger than the Boogeyman." I have to make sure I give this whole context, just in case if someone's listening to this with all my stutters and whatnot, that you can understand what's grading and where it's being ranked. So these are the aliens. I just want to make sure that's clear. I'll say they're fine, but kind of forgettable, honestly. Like, I don't need them. But they're alright. I'll put them in front of the grapes, because they have a funny design, and they kind of look like the Phibbs brothers to me. I think that's why I like them. But also their voices are good. For like that 3 seconds of time I got to hear them, and that's it. Yeah, this is my list, so just judge this how you want to, but this is how I'm judging it. They're fine, and I rank them higher than the half of the Grapes of Wrath family. Snoodle from the Snoodle's Tale. Okay, I like Snoodle's Tale a lot, but it's not like the long-lasting show that makes a top 5 impression on me. But the character of just the main Snoodle character, is really sweet. I think it portrays a protagonist who's trying to find God's love in a really sweet way. And I just love the story overall, with just the Dr. Seuss feel, even more so than Flubber Lou, in my opinion. So I would have to throw him up in like the top of the serviceable. I think probably like, how high are we going here? I think, yeah, I would throw him in front of the celery guy, the spooky celery man. Yeah. Oscar, the Polish caterer, though, is still in front. There we go. Moving on. Snooderella. Do not like this one, unfortunately. This is not a big one on my favorite list. In fact, it is kind of really bad. I really do not like the show overall, with the show that Snooderella stars in, so I have to throw him in really bad, honestly. Sorry about that. The Sporks from Lord of the Beans. Actually, just on the pun alone, the amazing pun is incredible. So I think just for that reason, we have to throw him higher up on the serviceable characters. We gotta. I'll put him behind the Snoodle. There we go. Yeah, really, just the best pun you could ever think for a Lord of the Beans antagonist for a parody of Lord of the Rings. And what's more scarier for a vegetable than a spork? And it rhymes with orc so well, and it's just perfect. It's perfect. I could not believe when I saw that, even when I was like 7, when I first saw that episode, I was just thinking to myself, genius. That is absolute genius thinking. Yeah, so just on the creativity alone, that's why it goes that far up there for me. Larry's brothers. They're fine, but kind of forgettable to me. I'd put them in front of Annie, but I think they're only shown in this context of Duke and the Great Pie War, and that's it. They have a fun acapella. reprise of the What Have We Learned song, and that's it. So there's not much to grade on that one. Again, some characters in this tier ranking just have like literally nothing to rank off of. So, but their designs are fun though. I like the designs of them. They're fun. Okay, whatever this character is, I don't even know who you are. It doesn't matter to me. Right here. There you go. I don't know what to say. Okay, moving on. The machine from the end of Silliness? That's a... Okay, well, if that's a character, I guess, yeah, it makes sense that Cordy's a character, and this is part of that same genre of characters, but there's nothing. It's just an actual machine. There's no character in this thing. It's just an actual machine. Okay, we'll put it in fine, but kind of forgettable. It's literally just a countdown clock for seeing the top 5 things. You could literally have just a screen, like a screen cover of saying the exact same things, and tell me it's also a character, which it's not. So I don't know. I would actually argue that this thing right here is not an actual character in the Veggie shows. It's an actual machine, unlike QWERTY. The silliness counter is okay. I'm done talking about it. I don't know. I don't know what to say, but it's fine. It's fine. The show itself is fine, and the machine itself is fine. But there's nothing to it for me. The wise men or the salesman. Allow us to introduce ourselves. I think we gotta throw these really high up there. They actually might be certified icons just for this one role as the salesman. They're obviously great in God Wants Me to Forgive Them as the wise men, but I don't know. I think they just on the meme alone, it's pretty iconic. So I think that's why I'm putting them up here. And also the salesman rap, come on, that salesman rap is just incredible, and I love it so much. So that's why we're putting it that high up there. Yeah, I guess they're certified icons now. Crazy. Oh, here they are. Jean-Claude and Philippe from The Walls of Jericho, from Josh and the Big Wall. So I guess they are grading on only just the appearances they made, not the character overall, just the appearances. Okay, interesting. So I guess in that case, we'll put them high up on the list then, even though we've ranked Jean-Claude and Philippe, I guess, before. I guess it might have been hard to tell which one was which because, like I said, all the P's have the exact same design. So let's put them up here. They're actually certified icons to me. I think I would put them right in front of the salesman, actually. They're better than Junior, though, too. Yeah. Yeah, I think they're better than Junior still. Salesmen are still up there, though, too. Moving down. What do we got? Oh, we have the Grim Tickler from Esther. The really spooky thing that just comes out of nowhere, and it's wearing a cloth and a robe and has a big feather for tickling. The idea is good, but man, that scared me a lot as a child too, I must say. So, but it's good for what it is. It plays a good force of nature. I think we'll throw them right here, right next to the other force of nature that I can only think of that makes sense to rank it next to, which is the Ogopogo sea monster mechanical thing from Pirates Who Don't Do Anything. Potato is still funnier though, it has more personality. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna grade that. Cool. The King from Pirates Who Don't Do Anything. Also good. I'd probably put him right beside Robert because they have the exact same amount of impact for me as a character. I like the role and the what's the word? I like the role he plays overall as the King. But like that's kind of all there is to it. He's just meant to play the the light side, godlike character, which is good, but that's all there is to it. And he's also not in the movie that much right until the end, and that's it. So again, there's not as much to rank off as far as character and personality goes. So I like the role that the king plays for the heroes, but I think Robert sticks with me a bit more just because he's in the movie longer and he has more to work with as the villain. Still are both pretty good though, but still at the top of serviceable because they play one function in the story, and that's kind of it. The Peach. Oh, that IRS joke from the Oh Santa song is literally certified icon worthy to put the Peach up in, but I think we gotta put him just in memes aside, I think we have to put him just in the serviceable. He's fine for who he is, even though that IRS joke is amazing. We gotta put him ahead of the blue and green things. I like the Peach a lot though. The Peach is awesome. The Peach is very iconic in the veggie culture, I guess, now too. Mainly for the IRS joke, I think, and that's why. But hey, you gotta get popular somehow, and the Peach did it just through that one time. He also made an appearance in Hairbrush too, though. But his Oh Santa appearance was much more iconic, I think, though. Yeah, anyway. The Whale from Jonah. I actually like this thing a lot. Even though the whale is just a big blubbery animal in the movie, he's actually really cool. I actually like this character a lot, and the design is actually really cool as well. They really did a good job of, the team at Big Idea made a good job of making sure it's not too scary, but like making it more like a dopey dog face kind of idea, which is he's just like a big lovable oaf, you know? That's kind of the idea they're going for, and I like it. I'd probably have to put it I'd probably put it right beside Gordon. Right beside Gordon, in front of Gordon, behind Laura. Yep. I like it. Okay, what's his name? Not Percy, why am I blanking on his name? Tom, that's his name. Tom Grape. From Grapes of Wrath, and he's also made an appearance in Josh and the Big Wall too, but I have to be honest, he is one of my least favorite characters in the early shows. Not because they're intentionally designed bad, I just find his voice annoying personally. I'm not the biggest fan of Tom. It's kind of the same thing with all the Grapes of Wrath. I think that's also why I just don't like the Grapes of Wrath segment, because all the characters are annoying to me. So I think we just gotta throw him at the top. I'll throw him at the top of the three. Besides Paw. Paw is amazing. Paw is great. I just wished that this list had a different picture of him rather than the Grapes of Wrath segment, but hey, Tom is fine for who he is. I just don't think much of him at all. And that's it. Let's see, the banana character from Larry Boy and the Bad Apple. This is also one where I find him, again, not much of a character. He's just playing one purpose as a throwaway joke for Alfred. And the joke is fine, but just the actual character is fine but kind of forgettable. So I put him behind the kids. The singing robot children from Autotainment. Cool. Alright, we're getting there. We're almost done. We might not end on much of a high note because these are very much background characters for the rest of the show. Okay, we have the Duck Dynasty dude, who I forget the name of and I don't really care about. Okay, I don't even know who you are, personally. That's all I know, it's just the Duck Dynasty guy. I also just don't like that era of VeggieTales when they thought... I mean, VeggieTales was very hyped there on the Christian media list, obviously. Like, the Christian media charts were going off the wall with VeggieTales. So therefore, all these Christian artists and all these pop culture icons in the Christian media world wanted to make their appearance in VeggieTales. So you have so many guest stars that I actually don't even know, like the lady from the Twas the Night Before Easter. I forget her name, but she's just another Christian pop artist who is. They do the same thing that kind of modern Hollywood does, where like, oh, we have a very popular pop culture character or person, and we want to make him more popular and make a cool combination or like a sponsorship or whatever it is, right? And they throw him in something that they do not belong into and out of their territory, and they make him act, and it's just to sell more merchandise and whatever, because you see that character, that actor or actress's name, I mean, on the label, and it's not great to me. I don't love that tactic. It comes off really forced, and it's no different than when the Christian media world does it too. And they did it with the Duck Dynasty dude and the actress or the singer, whatever her name is. So, I just a little side note, but it's just kind of a gripe that I've been having for a long time with media overall when they bring pop culture icons into fields that they do not belong into. So I don't know, just my thoughts. We have the robots who make the classic joke, weed eater joke. To me, like, everyone loves this joke because it's all randomly generated, but they're a little forgettable to me. They're a little forgettable. So let's go top of the fine, but little forgettable. I still like them. They're fine. They're not much of a lasting impact on me, though. Oh, wait. Is the mirror, though, a serviceable character more than the robots? I just realized. I don't know. You know what? Okay, I'll give them more credit than that. I think we'll throw them up in beside Wormy. I think they're actually better than that. I just realized. They're fun. Actually, you know what? I'll put them in front of Appley, and Wormy. Cool. They're fine robots. They make fun jokes, and that's it. Yellow McToad from Wonderful World of Oz. This is actually a fun character. Actually, he has like nothing to do really, but they make his appearance last long, and I like it. I like him a lot, so I think I'll throw him up here in front of Mirror beside Arc Bugatti. I actually like him a lot, despite literally doing nothing and just walking and being a funny looking character. I think I just love his design overall, and he's kind of cute. I like him. We got Dad and Mom Carrot. I have to be honest, they make no impression on me. They're fine but kind of forgettable. Like, actually nothing. There we go. Like, they're just background extras, so there you go. We got Paco, the aardvark, I think, or not the aardvark, the donkey. I think is Paco the donkey, something like that. From the Lessons of the Sock Drawer episode. That is played by Mr. Lund, obviously, but I just love this character. It's just basically an extension of Mr. Lund. It's just Mr. Lund, honestly. There's nothing more to it than that. So I think we got to put him genuinely good. It's kind of a dumb joke, but some people cringe when they see it. But I like it so much. I love Paco. I'm gonna put him behind Petunia. Yeah, that's fun. Okay, the Three Little Pigs. I don't even know who you are. I'm sorry. They make no impression on me. I don't really have any association with them, besides the workers, the construction workers episode. So take that how you will. Binky the Singing Aardvark. He's incredible. Binky is so random and incredible. I guess he's also from Autotainment as well, but was reutilized in Lessons from the Sock Drawer again. I would put him in front of Palmy the Palm Tree. That sounds right to me. Cool. We have the cheerleaders. The only reason why I like these cheerleaders is because of George's joke at the end when they do their little routine, and George just looks at the camera and goes, "It must be a slumber party." That's all it is. I don't know why I quote that all the time with just my friends and family. It's just it's a throwaway joke, but I think just for that reason the memories are fun. But if we're actually grading the cheerleader characters just by themselves, they're fine. They're fine, but kind of forgettable. You don't need them, but they're fine. Is that Percy's dad, I think? I only recognize this shot because it's from the Toy That Saved Christmas, and he goes, "Who's Billy?" And that's it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't even know really who you are. Like, there's nothing to this guy. He's literally just saying one line to get the point across, or the plot forward. The penguins. Not of Madagascar, just the penguins of VeggieTales. They're really fun, they're really cute. I actually like these things a lot. Let's put them in... I don't know where to put them. There's so many characters now. Put them behind Buzzsaw Louie and then the Peach. In between Louie and the Peach. I like the penguins a lot. They're just... Again, there's fun animals in VeggieTales. And I think it's the same case with... who was the other one? The penguins and someone else I liked a lot. Animal-wise. I forget where they were. I don't know. I thought I liked more animals on this list, but anyway, fun extras like this can always be just fun to rank, just because their personality was up there. Oh, the toad. That's what I was thinking of. I forget where I ranked the toad. Oh, the toad is down here. But yeah, the toad is fun. The all animals, especially in the later shows, get a bit more cuter. In the earlier ones, they're like, I don't know how to feel about them because they look a little strange. But the penguins are simply designed, which is a good thing. They kind of look like they're molded out of clay and just thrown onto the screen, which I think actually helps them a lot. The simplistic design is a much better route to go in this kind of territory, which makes them more cute and more likable, in my opinion. So that's why they're up there. But speaking of animals then, where are the porcupines from Jonah? If this is literally every single character you can think of in every single appearance, I don't know where the porcupines are. I don't know. If I had to rank the porcupines, I'd put them somewhere at the bottom of serviceable characters. They're fine, but again, that's kind of all there is to it. So that's my in-depth review of the porcupines. And then we have, oh yeah, the corn hairband. Come on. I know they all have names in the universe, but I forget them, but they're just the corn hairband. And I don't know if it's intentional on them, but I think it's a great parody on the actual band Korn. They're awesome. I think I have to put them at the front of serviceable characters because they're... Actually, no, you know what? They're going to the good category. Who am I kidding? That song is awesome. Rock On Larry Boy? Come on. It's so good. I gotta put them like... How high am I gonna put these guys? Their song is amazing. I'm also just a rock junkie as well. I love metal and all that. So seeing them go down this route and a really good song is just so cool. For the cherry on top for Larry Boy and the Bad Apple. I'll put them behind Rumor Wade. That seems fair to me. They're really good. I love these characters a lot. Toto or Tutu, whatever the the reverse name of this is in universe for the Wizard of Oz. That's the pig. I think it's Tutu. I think Darby calls him Tutu. Cute. He's a cute character, and I like how they always call him his dog, because that's funny. Running jokes are funny to me. So let's put him in new character. Serviceable character. Actually, you know what? Let's throw him a little higher than the Toad for me. I like this character. Again, I think VeggieTales has a really good way of designing their animals with very simplistic design, but making them still look cute, which the simplistic design helps them make them even look cuter in the long road. Overall, which I think is nice. Last character, guys. I don't know how long I've been doing this, but we're almost done now. We have the sun to end off as our big climactic character choice of where to put him. Where do I put the sun here? Let me see. I'll throw him in serviceable. I have lots of nostalgia for this character just because the design overall, with like the big, you know, the big white eyes and just the big nose and all that. I've seen so much of this character in my head when I was a kid, just because I think he was just in the earlier shows overall. With the God Wants Me to Forgive Them was kind of his main starring debut. There's literally nothing to this character because he's just an inanimate object being cute and funny. And I like that how he's actually a little disturbed from the grips of wrath. Like the sun is even scared of being around these guys, which is that's a good joke. I like that part. But yeah, he goes to the bottom of serviceable characters. He's good. There's not a whole lot there to him, but when he's there, it's fun. And that being said, guys, that is the list. That is the huge VeggieTales characters list that I hope you enjoyed listening or watching me rank. Let me know what your choices are down below, if you can remember every single character on this list. Or just give me your top 5 or top 10, whatever it is. But yeah, guys, make sure to subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time.